And they still haven't answered the question. They haven't answered the question. Who let the dogs out? It's your boy. Voted most irresponsible. Voted not the one. No, not you. We pick everybody else but your ass. The underdog. The unlikely candidate. That's me. That's him. Him right there. That's him right there. That's him. Man, so it's been a minute, okay? I gotta explain. I was gaining traction. Y'all know I'm new. I am. But I was gaining traction. It's a lot of screens up and stuff. So that's why I keep looking all weird, because I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. Okay, there I am. I'm right there. Okay, so it's a lot. It was a lot going on. And, had some medical stuff that popped up and whatever. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do this. But I'm back because I love it. So I'm getting back into the debauchery, back into the shenanigans, back into the political landscape of what's going on. Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Now, I missed a lot of the meat and potatoes, the whole caucus. Is that what they call it? The caucus. I missed all that. Whatever. We started from now. And I'm in my feeds, right? Because you get fed by these timelines. And I saw that her assistant got something to say. And I was kind of shocked, because I'm like, dang, how this gonna go? What's this about? And I saw a piece of it and I said, no. I gotta share this with the people. I gotta get back out here and I'm gonna review this with y'all. And it's kind of weird, because in looking at what was going on with Mayor Tiffany Henyard's assistant, it's really, really messed up, man. Now, let's be clear. Everything's alleged until somebody is convicted. I don't want to play that game by just saying this is what happened. This ain't what happened. All I can say is this is what it looked like, because everybody done got caught up in some look like. You know what that look like. You see it in every movie that exists when somebody cheating. You're like, baby, this ain't what it looked like. Well, that's what it looked like. It looked like the look like. So if you're looking like a look like, then you're looking like it. And that's what this looks like. I don't even know what I said. I'm sorry, y'all. I digress. So let me pull it on up here. Bring it front and center. We're gonna review this whole interview that NBC Chicago did. Shout out to NBC Chicago did with Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard's assistant. I'm a little uncomfortable because ain't no telling what she gonna say, but she deserved to speak her truth. And I don't believe in blaming victims. I don't believe that all stories are true, but I do believe that you need to hear each side. Like they used to say, I think they still say it, listen to what they got to say and what they got to listen to their truth, and their truth, and the real truth is somewhere in the middle. The saying is something like that. You know what I mean? So let's get into this and see what done happened here. NBC Chicago's interview with Mayor Tiffany Henyard's ex-assistant.
In August 2023, we got a tip about a suburban mayor. And that's how our deep dive into Dalton all began. We were told that Mayor Tiffany Henyard had taken a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas and that her assistant had accused a village trustee of assaulting her during that trip. Now, the tipster told us that when the mayor's assistant tried to get help from Henyard, the woman that she trusted and looked up to, she ended up getting fired a few months later. Now, that woman has since filed a civil lawsuit naming Tiffany Henyard, Andrew Holmes, the village of Dalton, and Thornton Township all as defendants. Andrew Holmes has not been criminally charged and has not responded to our numerous requests for comment about this lawsuit.
Of course he's not. So that's the thing. That's rule number one. Deny until they figure out what happened. Because again, I ain't victim shaming. I don't believe in that. But what I am saying is they have to get clear on what the legal nuances are, you know, because look at who's put in the lawsuit: the mayor, the city of Dalton, trustee Andrew Holmes. It's rare that one person gets caught up and not all of them, because that gives narrative to it, and that's taxpayer money. That's where you think the money come from. They come from the taxpayers. The good part about these suits is that gives the victim some level of justice. The bad part is that's going to take resources away from the city, you know. So everybody really loses, you know, because whoever's filing the lawsuit, allegedly they were assaulted in some way or wronged in some way, which that's time and emotions that they'll never get back. That's scars that run deep. And then you got the city that's going to lose because those resources are being allocated to a lawsuit, you know. So it really, really sucks how it all plays out. But, you know, anyway, let me continue.
Tiffany Henyard has denied all the allegations made against her. The allegations and the accusations you are about to hear are reflected in police reports we obtained in a joint lawsuit filed by the alleged victim and a Dalton police officer.
Fania, how are you doing today?
That's kind of hard to even answer. It's up and down. It's kind of like that every single day. I can't say this past weekend I have been overly blessed for my child to where that has been having me feel elated and just overjoyed. So I will just go that route and say that I'm blessed. I can say that.
I want to go back a little bit and talk about Tiffany Henyard. She's your old boss. Is that correct?
Yes. I was her assistant. I actually originally met her when I was a teen, and she had a dance group, and I was in it, and we even performed at Lincoln and stuff. And I knew her since then, and she was a spunky girl, you know, like not the person that.
Well, wait a minute. Now, how old is this young lady? You know, she said she knew Tiffany Henyard as a teen, and Tiffany Henyard had a dance group. And Tiffany Henyard, I think, is like 40 or something. So I'm wondering, put in the chat if you all know how old this lady is, you know, and it's not about her age as much as it is to give us some kind of insight of her mindset on it. She looks like she ain't been sleeping too good behind all this stuff too. Because, I mean, it's just crazy how all this stuff is panning out. And this was the catalyst of the bullshit, for real, because this is when this got national attention about some mishaps happening in Las Vegas with this city's administration, that's what made everybody lean in like, wait, what happened? And then when they started to unpack what happened, they started to realize, well, wait a minute, it's some misappropriation of funds in this city. We ain't talking $40. We ain't even talking about 40,000. We talking 400 plus. Whoa. And that's where it became a big old story, because people like, well, dang, what they doing? Tiffany, what you doing? And then she bigged up on it as the younger mayor or whatever. Tiffany is cute. Tiffany is charismatic. Ghetto is that thing. But all of those things make you kind of look like, well, what's going on with it? And it kind of made the story turn into a whirlwind. Anyway, let's get back into what this young lady has to say.
You guys see today, like, she was really actually cool. She was somebody that you really could seriously look up to, and that's where I kind of got it from. Like, when I get older, I want to be involved with kids like this too. Like, this is cool. Like, this is nice. Like, that is somebody that you have somebody that's in your corner, that's, you know, coaching your growth and just being there for you. And that's I kind of miss that about her.
Did you look up to her like a big sister?
Absolutely. If we was around at that time, she would always call me her mini-me, which I actually despise now. And please never, ever call me that again. But yeah, I'm not even going to lie on her. Like, she really tried to actually lift me up. Like, she tried to give me opportunities to be able to go do different things. She used to always push, like, you might take my seat as mayor. You might be next. So I'm going to elevate. I want you to elevate behind me. So I definitely looked up to her.
Back in May of 2023, Fania Dukes says she learned about a business trip being planned to Las Vegas. The mayor was taking a group of people there to attend a convention. It was happening around the same time as Fania's birthday. So she says she had never been to Vegas before and told the mayor she'd like to go. Fania ends up attending that trip along with Dalton police officer Byron Miles, who at the time was part of the mayor's security detail. Also on that trip, Andrew Holmes, who is an elected Dalton trustee and a well-known community activist. Fania says,
I mean, not to be funny, but when they show pictures of Andrew Holmes, he looked like he looking like he caught up in a bunch of mess. You know what I'm saying? He just looks like, allegedly, because I don't want to pin this on nobody, but he looks like the guy. You know what I mean? Like, whatever they did. If you say somebody got punched, he looked like the guy that punched him. Somebody then took some candy, he looked like the candy taker. So he just kind of fits the mold as the guy that they're gonna blame for it. All right, let's keep it going.
She knew Andrew very well and that she felt safe around him. At the time, she says she even referred to him as Uncle Drew.
When she brought him into the
Uncle Drew, what the
campaign, then he became Uncle Drew, and it was a cool, like we've been places, we've been in cars and places by ourselves, and he's never made a move at me, or passed me, or anything. So that's always also made me feel like I'm safe around him.
On the last day of the trip, Fania says they all went out to dinner. After dinner, she wanted to go out for drinks. She says trustee Andrew Holmes came along with her.
That's how I start. See, that's where it get messy. When the liquor get in there, she wanted to go out for drinks. When the liquor get involved, because see, that's the thing. What she just said? She said she felt comfortable with Uncle Drew because she rode in the car with him. He ain't never tried nothing. That's reasonable. That's reasonable as hell. You know what I mean? You hanging out with dude, and that's the thing. Women got to be careful because you got a lot of good guys out here and you got some bad guys out here too. It is what it is. So women do have to be careful. I tell my nieces this. I got 3 sisters. I tell them this too. Like, y'all got to watch what the hell going on because some of these dudes ain't really on what you think they on. So they got to test them a little bit. You know, I dated this girl who wouldn't even let me pick her up originally. She's like, nope, first date, we're going to meet in the daytime and you're going to meet me there. I'm going to drive my car, you're going to drive your car. It made sense to me. You know, I was young at the time, so I'm like, damn, I can't come get you. Like, we can't do this like the movies. I pick you up, and then we have a nice night, and then we go home. Good night, kiss at the door. No, she wasn't with it. But I respected it, though, because she didn't know me like that. And so when a woman says what she says, I rode in the car with him. He ain't never tried nothing. I understand. But then there's the liquor. You go to dinner and you want the liquor, and we know people get to acting, getting besides themselves, especially if it's that dark liquor. That dark liquor will make you liquor.
It was a safety beacon. Like, that's somebody that if he's with us, you're not going to mess with us. So I felt confident enough that leaving the restaurant and then going to go hang with him after the restaurant, that I was going to be okay.
To go to the strip.
Yeah, and
You felt safe with it.
Yeah. So I told him verbally my room number, and I was like, it's 2145. And he was like, okay. So he came and I knocked on my door. He didn't come in. I left out, and then we walked out to the strip. When we walked out, the first thing we did, we were staying at Planet Hollywood. When we walked out, we went to Walgreens, and if we was looking to get some alcohol. And at first we didn't know that they had the heavy alcohol behind the counter at first. So we were just about to get some little cans of whatever, like little malt liquor things, whatever, until we went to go check out, and we seen it. So then we ended up getting like, I think Hennessy, it was Hennessy, 50 Hennessy. And then when.
So what did I just say? What did I just say? Didn't I say that dark liquor? What I just say? And it's that damn Hennessy every time. And I hate it too, man, because some of it is comical, but what happened to this lady, if is not comical. Again, I may say some things that's facetious and talk my stuff, but at the end of the day, no woman should ever be violated, and no means no. And sneaking stuff in people drinks and doing all kind of weird stuff, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be man enough to approach a lady and and shoot your shot. And sometimes your shot go in, sometimes it don't. No harm, no foul, keep it pushing. And he should have been more observant of the situation because she's obviously young. You can look at her demeanor. You can look at her candor, the way she enunciates words, her all of that, and tell she's not as experienced, or definitely not as experienced as he was at the time, because he's a lot older than her. You know, I mean, they was trying to get cans of malt liquor. Wow. You know, but anyway.
But next door, and they had a daiquiri place. It's like one of those places that you lift up and it's just open. And I went to go get a chaser. So we go, and then there's another hotel that has a small little fountain, not the Bellagio fountain, but it's a smaller fountain. We sat out there. And earlier through the trip, I did go to the dispensary, and I ended up getting a couple of pre-roll joints. And so we sat there and we smoked, and we were talking about the people walking past, laughing here and high. So now we end up walking down the strip. We're passing the I forgot what hotel it is that looks like New York. Then we get to the Mandalay, which is like the little castles and stuff, and we hear a concert. So we walk in there, we sit down in there, and we're watching the concert and stuff like that. We're talking about the people in there. Then we leave the concert and walk right back to the same fountain that we originally started at, and that's my little last memory until I wake up in his room. So,
oh damn. Okay, so whoa. Because she say a lot, because her speech pattern is fast, right? Wait, let me before I dive in. Do your boy a favor, push that like button. It don't mean that much to you, don't cost that much to you, but it means the world to me. I'm trying to push this stuff out there, okay? Just hit that like button for your boy, all right? Subscribe if you're really feeling it, but hit that like button. Anyway, wait a minute. They was looking for malt liquor at first. Then they went and got the Hennessy from behind the counter. So we know how that dark liquor do. And then she said it was a daiquiri place next door. So they probably got a daiquiri. And then they went and got some pre-rolls from the dispensary. So we got beer, cognac, daiquiris. What's in a daiquiri? I think, is it vodka? I don't know. I ain't had a daiquiri in Hellas. Whatever. Vodka, we're going to go with that. Whatever's in the daiquiri. Put in the comments what's in the daiquiri or in the chat. And pre-rolls. That's so for those of y'all that don't smoke weed. I don't smoke weed either, but I know what it is. That's where they roll the joints for you. So you buy them pre-rolled. Reefer, dark liquor, malt liquor, a young woman, and an old man. I mean, all right.
I can't remember getting up from that fountain, walking into the hotel, getting into the room, who even helped. Did I even walk myself? I can't remember any of that. My next memory is literally him over me, waking me up, saying, "Baby girl, you wake up," and I'm just jumping up. And now this is not the face that I'm expecting to see because I have my own room. So you're waking me up. I'm confused on why I'm here.
Do you think you blacked out?
I knew for sure waking up that I was completely disoriented. Like I knew that me not knowing how I went from the fountain and I'm waking up here, I knew that immediately. That was how. Like it was like a blink, and now I'm hearing it like that. I knew immediately. I'm discombobulated.
Whose room did you wake up in?
Andrew Holmes' room.
Whose bed did you wake up in?
Andrew Holmes' bed.
In the civil lawsuit, officer.
So she woke up in his room, in his bed. But was her drawers on? Like, I mean, what was it, right? Like, I mean, because that's a pivotal thing. Was she fully clothed? Was she partially clothed? Was she butt naked? Was her drawers off? Was there any matter? Like, what's the context? Okay, we weren't there. I sure as heck wasn't there. And all of this is allegedly. But I'm wondering, was it one of them things where she got drunk? He had to help her back, whatever, drunk, high, whatever. And if it was, she should be fully closed. Now, granted, if it's like that, he should have helped her back to her room. The fact that she can remember her room of all these years is interesting, but I mean, whatever. My memory's not that good. But she should be fully closed. Now, if it's some foul play, she probably ain't gonna have her drawers on or something. So that's why I asked if that was a thing. You know, what is that? Let's see.
Officer Byron Miles says Andrew Holmes called him from the hotel room. Officer Miles claims Andrew made reference to engaging in sexual activities with Fania, and it was also unclear whether she did or could consent. He says he began recording their conversation. The lawsuit says that Andrew transitioned from a phone call to FaceTime, then panned the camera to private areas of Fania's body. At times, moving or removing articles of clothing. Fania says when she woke up in Andrew's bed, they were both fully dressed and that she immediately began looking for her belongings. But she recalls that something did not feel right.
Then while I'm looking around now, I'm also.
Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. So they were. That's full blown creep, flat out. Like, how you gonna FaceTime the police, and then you showing this woman's body? Like, what kind of creepy stuff is that? I mean, really, dog? That's an old man move. That's an old man who ain't been getting none move. Like, come on. First of all, you shouldn't have to do it like this. That's wrong if you violated this young lady. Shame on you. But either way, that's crazy. Like, how you gonna FaceTime the police and then do all that? It is interesting, though, that my question was answered. They were fully clothed. So did it go down and then she put her clothes? Like, did she go through all the motions and just didn't remember? Or is it that she literally blacked out because of the situation? He took advantage and then put her clothes back on. It's weird. That's interesting, though.
Standing up on my feet, I'm really feeling like I've never felt this way before. Like this you feel
disoriented.
Weird. Yeah, I feel disoriented, discombobulated, all of that. Like it was way past just a hangover. It was way past all that. I felt like I was on 1,000 elevators. Like I felt like my body would just keep going up. That's how I just kept feeling. Like I didn't have no explanation of why I feel like this. Because again, I drink and I smoke. That's regular. So me drinking like how I drunk, that wasn't. And then I even finished the drink. Like so, I know like I wasn't just full out, just blacked out. And this is just the first time that I ever drank before. So I immediately knew like something was wrong. But again, at the time frame of what it was, I wasn't trying to question it because now I got to make sure that I make it back to this plane.
Fania says they rushed to the airport to catch their flight back home. All the while, Fania says she was trying to recall what happened and why her body felt different.
How can you really prove this if you don't remember this? But you know what your body feels. You weren't feeling that way before you woke up into his room. When y'all were walking in all up and down the strip, you were fine. How you're feeling, my area and what that felt like, no ma'am. So it was like it was more. And I went on my period. It was at the end of my period, so I was still spotting stuff like that. So I definitely know I didn't go down there for that. And so.
Man, how she be telling the story is like, whoa, like it's a lot going on with that. You know, oh, wow. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. That just threw me off a little bit. Let me get back into it.
But I didn't have any cramps, but what I felt, and I'm like, I don't usually cramp after the fact. So it's just like I was trying to debunk. So I'm like, that man would do nothing. So you have to find, this cannot be it. Like, and then it's also just like, this really can't be it. Like that was also a denial for me. Like this, because coming out, like look at my life now. Like this is something I never wanted to be sitting in front of you, talking to you about this ever. This is not the type of narrative I've ever wanted all my life. So now it is. So that was the denial. Like if I come out saying this, that's strong. And then because I can't remember anything, what if I could have been wrong? But that's on my mind just telling me like, just you have to find some other way. But my body and how it felt.
Fania says she returned to work and received a text message from Officer Byron Miles.
I'm at work and I get a text message and from Officer Miles, and he said, "Are you okay?" And now I'm just like thinking that this man is reading my mind because again, I didn't say anything to anybody. So I'm like, no, I'm cool. What do you mean? He said, "Are you sure?" And I'm, yeah. Now you scared me. Why are you asking me? Or you just coming out of nowhere asking me, "Am I okay? Are you sure?"
That's telling. That's telling because it's like, what you ask me if I'm okay for? Like, what you know? What you know? That's like somebody like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You sure? Well, what you mean? Especially if she wasn't feeling good in the first place. If she wasn't feeling okay, and then dude asked her, she okay? It's like, all right, dude know a little something.
He's like, I don't take this weird. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I think you should go to the doctor. Now, again, I'm already fighting it in my head. And if you're saying this and I have no idea, I can't even remember anything, and I feel like I'm only fighting it in my head, and you're telling me you feel like I need to go to the doctor, I immediately went. I immediately told William Moore, because I was where I was working. I was at Dalton Park working behind the counter, and I told him I need to go. Now I got to go to the hospital. He's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I just need to go." So I went But then again, walking to the hospital, now I'm like, but if I do this, they're going to pull out, they're going to bring police, they're going to do the rape kit. And what if I'm wrong? Like, my mind is just saying, like, this is an elected official. It's not like just Johnny down the street. This is a big person. And then he's an advocate and all this stuff. Like, this is a major person.
All right, see, now that's where it hurts my feelings. That's where it hurts my feelings. And it's not about where it hurts my feelings is, like she said, he's an elected official. And it's messed up that she has to second guess an elected official, second guess an advocate, like she said, because he's supposed to be advocating for her. And again, as I say this, I'm not trying to make this, he hasn't been convicted of anything. He doesn't even have criminal charges, it's civil charges. All right. So we don't want to pin this on him. But we talked about the look like earlier, and it looked like. And so we're just going off of her side of the story right now, because she's telling it. When he tells, or if he tells his story, we'll go off of his side and then we'll let the courts figure it out. But we're listening to her. She shouldn't have to even question if this elected official, somebody picked by the people, y'all, us, pick this man. He's supposed to be able to conduct himself accordingly. He ain't supposed to be trying to take ass. That is not what he got elected for. That hurts my feelings, man. And she, you know, because that makes sense. It's like in her mind, she thinking, dang, is this really what's up, though? Like, how this is gonna play? But she says she smokes, she drink too. So on one end, Trustee Holmes really shouldn't have put himself in this position. It's like, man, this is a young girl who, you know, don't get me wrong. You got some, what y'all call it, silver foxes, them old men who can get the attention of ladies or whatever. You got some of them that can kind of, but when you out of your league, bro, you ain't one of them to where a young lady like this is just going to be checking for you. So one, don't put yourself in that situation. Number two, you're going to add liquor and weed, the dark liquor too. Let's get back into what she got to say.
You can't remember anything. You know what your body feels, but you can't, you literally have no words or evidence to say, like, this happened to me. Besides, I can't remember anything. Besides, I blame something. Besides, this was the last person that I was with. And now I feel like this since I was with the last person that I was with. So, I'm sorry.
Take your time.
Lord. Oh, God. I'm okay. You could do it. You could do it. You could do it. You could do it.
Well, at the hospital, Fania says she got an STD test, but she did not ask for a rape kit. May I ask you this, and this is a question that a lot of people may ask, but when you came back to Dalton and you go to the doctor, the hospital, may I ask, did you get a rape kit? If so, why or why not?
And that's what I would say. I did it because, one, it's an elected official, and them doing a rape kit is going to start the whole investigation right then and there. I haven't talked to Tiffany, and in my mind, because just working for her, I'm just thinking about don't mess up her, you know, her vision, her, you know, her name, her career, whatever. And even though, again, me thinking in my head, just I didn't wake up in a room with her that she shouldn't take it like that, but seeing that she kind of did take it like that, and where it is now, at the time I didn't know how that investigation would have gone, and I literally was fighting myself, even though, again, I feel my body, but my mind saying this is big. If you do this is something that, you know, you can defame him, like you could possibly be wrong. Like I'm saying all this little stuff just to deter me, and that's mostly the main reason of why I didn't, because I felt like I just need to talk to Tiffany first. Like I don't know what's going on. I need to talk to Tiffany.
Do you
first.
regret that decision?
I regret it wholeheartedly. Not me. I really believed that lady was gonna help me. I really did. That's why, and that's another reason why I felt okay. You know what? I'm going to Tiffany because she's gonna know what to do. I regret it wholeheartedly.
Fania says she decided it was time to tell the mayor about her experience on that Vegas trip. According to the lawsuit, she arranged a meeting with Tiffany Henyard. Officer Miles was there too. The lawsuit notes that he drove Henyard to the meeting and also told her what he witnessed on the call with Andrew Holmes.
Who's all in this meeting?
This is all tacky, man. Like, it's so tacky that it was so the cop was involved. It's like if, like, I understand. All right, y'all. So there is a courtesy that happens with elected officials. That is a thing. So some elected officials get to they get preferential treatment. And let's unpack it why that makes sense. Okay. You're elected by the people, so you got thousands of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, depending on where you're at, even millions. So you're already ordained with a selected amount of trust, right? Like public perception, people trust you. That's why people hate politicians so much most of the time, because it's like, we trusting you to put you in office, and then you turn around and do all this old crazy shit. That's one of the main reasons why, right? So because of that, little things you get to do that regular people don't. But I mean, you can't, like, what Trump said back in the day, he could have what they said he said, pop somebody in the middle of a you know, I think it was Manhattan. I can't remember what it was, but you can't do stuff like that. You can't hurt people. You can't do that. We're talking like parking spaces, right? We talking, you know, maybe you took a little longer to stop at the stop sign than you should. Like little bitty stuff, you know what I mean? Not nothing crazy. And so because you're working too, you establish a relationship with these people, right? Police and all that. So of course the cop no dude, but for him to call the cop and then he's showing the girl's body to him on the phone, that's crazy. And then the cop knows something because he talked to her and asked, "Are you okay?" That's crazy. And I just don't understand how far that's supposed to go. You know, we expect better. I expect elected officials to be regular people. They got bills just like everybody got. They got debt like everybody got. All that. They regular people. They just taking on the task. But you don't get to hurt people intentionally. You get to make a mistake, but reasonable mistakes that regular people make. Regular people don't just slip and fall into a felony. Regular people don't just have random bar fights. They don't randomly shoot at people. They don't do stuff like that, you know. Anyway,
Meeting. It's only me, Officer Miles.
Sorry guys, one more thing. Hit that like button for your boy. Just press that like button. Don't do it. Won't cost you nothing, but it means the world to me. Hit it for me.
Tiffany Henyard, and we were in a closed office in a old bank.
The old bank across the street from Village Hall.
Yeah. And so we were in a room. I told her the whole story, and for her, it was kind of like when I was telling her, she didn't have a surprised look on her face, but it was kind of more like she immediately started thinking about herself. So the first thing she said was, "You know, this is going to ruin me, right?" And I immediately said, "That's why I'm coming to you first, because I want to move to where it doesn't hurt you. Like, if you have to take this and you know, ride with it of helping me and, you know, boosting yourself up or however you got to do it, that's fine. But I'm coming to you first to tell you that you're tell
Tiffany Henyard the entire story
Yes.
of what happened, what you can remember in Vegas, and what is her immediate reaction? What did she say?
That was the first thing she said. You know, this is going to ruin me. And then she told me that you can't trust everybody. And you know, you have him around your daughter and stuff, right? Like, you telling me that I can't trust everybody, but you brung him into this camp. Like, before, when you first brung him in there, actually everybody was opposed to it. Like, we don't mess with him. He ran against you with Mayor and all this stuff. Like, how we didn't understand what she brung him in there for.
Do you think she believed you? At that point, she says this could ruin her, but does she not believe you? Or,
man, how she looked at me is like she kind of already knew type. Not that she didn't believe me, but it's like she kind of already just, I know that happened, but I'm actually just kind of, you know, shocked that you're bringing this to me right now type face. Like, oh, you're not scared. You come to tell me. It's like, that's the type of face. Like, that's exactly how she did. Like, you know it's gonna ruin me, right? And then that's when she came up. Then after her whole little spiel, that's when she got up and hugged me. According to,
that's messed up, because basically what she's saying is Mayor Henyard hit her with the "this is what it's gonna do for me" instead of "are you okay?" What she should have said is, "I'm sorry. Are you okay?" Tell me what happened again. Help me understand what really happened to you. She should have shown some level of empathy because this is her assistant, right? This is supposed to be her day in and day out. And like she just said, dudes ran against her for mayor. He the ops. So what you doing, you know, getting so emotionally invested in what it's going to do for you right this minute when her as her assistant coming to her telling her what just happened. The lady got violated. Come on. That's disheartening to hear. It really is. But again, this is all alleged, and we're going off of what this lady is saying right now in her interview.
To the lawsuit, Tiffany told Fania in front of Officer Miles that she would take care of it and that Fania should trust her. Shortly after that, Fania says Henyard called her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, who then came to their meeting. Fania said in her report to police that she then told Kamal the same information she had just told Tiffany.
He's just saying, you're going to get paid. You good. You're going to get paid. No, you're going to get paid. What you want? That truck you run out there, you're going to have a new one. You're going to get a new car. Don't worry about it. It's like he studied just repeating this. And I'm telling him, like, this is not, I don't care about no getting paid.
Hey, I believe her too. You hear how she said, you're going to get a new one. You're going to get paid. But no, baby girl. You're going to get paid. You finna get this bag. You finna get the birthday cake and the candles. You finna get it. But you got to keep your mouth shut. And that's usually how the game go. You play in dirt, you get dirty. Stuff like this happens that could take somebody down. So picture the scene. You got this young lady who's an assistant. She feeling some kind of way. She's scared because she ain't sure what she really experienced because it don't feel right, but she don't really know because she don't remember. Like she say, she smokes, she drinks, she kind of know, but it didn't play how she normally know it to go. So she go to her boss trying to show some loyalty, like, hey, look, whoop-de-whoop, wop-de-wop, this is what happened. I don't know what this means. I'm just letting you know first. Help me figure this out. And then what her boss say to her? What she say? You know this is going to ruin me, right? So Fania like, damn, you can't say, how am I doing? Give me a hug, bitch. Like, yeah, do something. I'm sure that's what she was thinking. But she didn't do that. And so now the young lady's feeling some kind of way. And it's just not making sense to her because the person who did it to her, she's saying is the ops, right? The opposite, ran against them. He ain't even in their camp. And then it gets weirder because it's a cop in the room too in the meeting. She said Officer Mays, I believe. And then why the mayor call her boyfriend? Her boyfriend come up in there, you getting paid. You see that truck outside? You gonna get a pay, you gonna get a new one. That's how she said it. You gonna get a new one. So I believe, I'm really starting to believe a lot of how she's saying it because it's too detailed, you know. All right, man, let's get back into it.
Hey, so now he's saying, tell me, okay, so what is it that you want? I said, I want justice. He needs to go to jail. Like, it's, and to be honest, I said to jail or to hell. That's what I said. Either one. Those are the options for me. I don't care about no money. I don't care about any of that. If he did something that he wasn't supposed to do, this is what I want. So he's like, well, we got you. And then that's when he got out the room. And that's when they sent Miles to go get us something to eat. So now it's just me, Tiffany, and Kamal. Now we're in the outer area of the old bank. And we're just sitting there. And Kamal hands me a paper. He was like, write down what you want. So I literally sat there.
Write down what you want. That ain't what she said. She said, I told you what I want. I want him to go to jail or go to hell. Send him to hell. Or jail. In the city of Dalton, send them to cell block D. That's what she wanted. She wanted justice. It wasn't about a bag. Because at the end of the day, right, you can't put a price tag on somebody's ethics. You can't put a price tag on somebody's vulnerability, you know, on what a lady deems as coveted. You can't do it. I mean, hookers do it all the time, but that ain't what we're talking about here. We're talking about the mayor's assistant who felt like she was assaulted. You can't put a price tag on that. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. We talking? Can I talk? Can I talk to you? If I can talk to you, do two things. Hit the like button for me and put in the comments, I can talk to in the chat. I can talk. Because let's talk about it. A new truck is nice. New clothes is nice. Jewelry, all that. Trips, fancy dinners is nice. But when you go park that truck, how you going to feel about what you had to do to get it? Or what you let happen to you to get it? After you're done eating that last bite of steak, shrimp, lobster with the garlic butter, little Parmesan cheese. When it's all gone, how you going to feel about what you had to do to get that? And most of the time, we all feel crazy when we're alone in our thoughts, right? That's when life really makes us cringe. That's when we really feel it. You can't put a price tag on that. So she told Kamal came in there saying, what you want? Write it down. She was going to have a rough time with it. Now, it's some women that'll say, or not even women, some people that'll say, well, I mean, the deed is already done. Go and get you a little bit of something. But it ain't that simple, because we still people, and the thing that makes us people, makes us different from all other species is, well, I ain't gonna say that, but what I will say is we feel deeper. We have more things attached to our emotions. Let's get back into it.
Looking at that paper for maybe like an hour and a half as well, because I'm like, what do you mean? What do I want? If I literally just told you, like, I want him to go to jail, I want him to be charged, they need to come get him. What do you mean write a list? Why am I doing this? So it literally took me an hour and a half, and he's still even telling me, come on, just write it down, like through the whole time, just write it down, just write what you want, just go. So and I did, thinking that these people on my side. No, because now the last thing Tiffany told me before leaving the campaign office is, give me a week, and she's going to get her lawyer on it. She was like, you want me to use my lawyer, right? Yeah, because I don't have a lawyer. I don't have no money for no lawyer. So I said, of course. So I'm thinking that she's going to take this on, okay? We're going to talk about it. Wait for me.
May I ask, what
See, now that's where she went wrong. She didn't messed up. You hear what she said? She messed up. She fucked up. You're going to use my lawyer, right? Because see, when you use her lawyer, Tiffany's lawyer going to protect her. Not her. Not Fania. Tiffany's lawyer is going to protect Tiffany. Now, y'all ain't going to like this. But if you really want to see the chessboard, you got to look at it from the opposite side. You got to look at it from the sinister side. What do you see? What you're going to see is, you're going to see how things really play out. And when you look at it that way, that's a smart move on Tiffany's behalf. All right, she done came to me, told me something's going wrong that's going to ruin me. I need to get her to use my lawyer. Because what does that do for Tiffany? What it does for Tiffany is it helps show a little support, saying, I got you. You ain't got no money for a lawyer. You ain't got no lawyer. You don't know no lawyers. I got one. I got you. That's one goal. The second one is Tiffany gets to contain the situation because it's her lawyer that's navigating the whole process. The other thing is Tiffany can keep tabs on it from a chronological standpoint because she knows where this young lady at in the case. She'll know when the lady's getting ready to file a suit. She'll know when the lady's getting ready to do this, that, and the other if she's using her lawyer. So now she knows how to pivot. Smart on Tiffany's behalf. But it's to this young lady's detriment who was violated, and it's just not right. You know, it's not right. Let's hop back into it. Let's see what else she got to say.
did you ask for?
Honestly, I just said I'm on my car paid off. If I can get a couple months of rent, that's fine.
Sure.
But and stuff for my son and a couple and money from just being hurt. Like I and it was so hard. It took me so long to even write it down because I'm like, sir, like it's like a ransom list or something. Like like I've never been in this predicament to want to just write down a list like it's Christmas or something,
But then Kamal takes the list,
folds it up, put it in the back pocket.
Says, let me reach out to the attorney. We'll get back to you.
So then we all disperse, we all leave. And I didn't hear from her ever again.
We reached out to Kamal Woods about this interaction, but he has not responded to our numerous requests for comment. Fania provided NBC5 a copy
Of course he not gonna respond. What you want him to say? What he gonna say? Yeah, I took the list. I had her write down a list of things she wanted to make the case go away. Kamal wasn't finna get in the middle of that. He gonna try to stay as far away from the whole situation as he possibly can. Can you blame him? It was wrong, but I'm just saying, we thinking like practical people. We talking, right? Oh, y'all want me to say the truth? Right? Y'all want me to tell the truth? We talking. So of course Kamal ain't finna get in it. He gonna deny.
of a letter she received in June 2023 from attorney Michael Delgado, who represented the village at the time, asking her to preserve evidence. The police report also details that Officer Miles was contacted by his department's internal affairs unit and given a letter also asking him to preserve evidence. Delgado told us in an email, the letter and review of this matter was performed on behalf of the village of Dalton. The email goes on to say that his office is not authorized to release any records without the village's approval, and that we should contact the village's administrator to request those records. We did reach out to the village administrator and the village's PR firm about the records, but we have not received a response.
What happened to that letter?
I still got that letter.
What did you do with it? Did you submit that information that he was asking for?
Now I get no. Oh no. Oh, I didn't give them anything. And that's probably another reason why, like, that probably sent them off. Because I'm like, why are you trying to get? They even had a meeting with Officer Miles. They tried to tell him, you know, after they heard that it was that Officer Miles actually recorded it. They were like, well, we need that. Isn't that a work phone? He was like, it is a work phone, but it's a work phone that I pay for. So they even got mad at him. Like, they sent him the same exact letter as well. It said the exact same thing, except our names changed, that we need to give over whatever, and we haven't gave nothing.
Fania says the mayor told her to take as much time as she needed, but according to the lawsuit, within days of their meeting, Fania was put on unpaid medical leave. Although she says she did not request it. She says she was fired from both her jobs in Thornton Township and the village of Dalton in October 2023.
Somebody's coming to you saying that something happened to them as egregious as it was, and you saying, okay, that's fine, you're fired though.
That's foul. Because, I mean, she showed an act of loyalty to Tiffany by coming to her in the first place. Because what she should have done, go do the rape kit so you'll see what's up. She really should have done that so that, you know, that would have gave her some information that would have been direct, and that would have put something on file. Because at the end of the day, either the guy did it or he didn't, elected official or not. If he violated her in that way, I get she didn't want to do the rape kit because it was going to turn into a big thing, like as she said. She's right, it would. But if he did it, it should turn into a big thing if he did it. Now, if he didn't do it, then he didn't do it. Don't hold this man hostage for something he didn't do. But if he did it, like you said, he should go to jail or go to hell. I don't believe in taking ass. Okay? That's something you want, but that ain't something you need. You ain't got to do that. You know, it's not detriment to your survival. Take some water. Take some food. And I'm not saying I'm advocating stealing. No. What I'm saying is that's above and beyond something that's just shouldn't be tolerated. And so, yeah, you do deserve to go to jail or go to hell if you assault somebody in that manner.
In what sense did that make? I couldn't tell you. It's Tiffany. She's more focused on Tiffany and whatever Tiffany I go. It don't have to be career. It can be if she's about to go eat a cup of ice. It has to just be about her. Like it doesn't matter about a career. It's about Tiffany and how she moves, how she breathes, and then everybody around her in her circle. We also have to breathe on the same synchronization as her to make sure that everything is running for Tiffany. So it doesn't matter even if it's a career.
We received a statement from Tiffany Henyard's PR firm in March of 2024. It reads as follows. As previously issued, the Village of Dalton conducted a thorough investigation into these allegations. The investigation was led by an independent third-party company consisting of former law enforcement officers, none of whom have ever been affiliated with the Village of Dalton. Former police officer Miles was interviewed and denied knowing anything about these allegations. Also, despite numerous attempts by the village's independent investigators to contact Ms. Dukes, she refused to give a statement or cooperate with our investigation. Unfortunately, this is nothing more than two disgruntled village employees who are trying to make off with the taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. The village looks forward to defending these allegations and pursuing all other available remedies to the village.
Now, that is a thing. There are people who do go for cities and entities of that size because there are different layers of legality. What I mean by layers of legality is you got lawyers, you got insurance companies. I've seen cases where insurance companies will settle a case before the city even knows all of the details in it because it's cheaper than going to the court. It just is what it is. If they can shoot somebody away for 10 grand, they'll do it. They'd rather do that than to spend $20,000 having their lawyers in court or trying to even push the paperwork. Because it's not personal like that. It's more so just trying to handle business. At the end of the day, a lot of these people who make money or handle money, you got to look at the psychology behind it. They don't want a bunch of drama and a bunch of stuff to stop the money. They ain't even really trying to get you like that. They trying to keep the money where it needs to be. So if they got to pay you a little bit to go away so they don't have to pay you a lot, they'll do it. And so you have people who specialize in suing cities and suing entities like that. And like I said earlier in the stream, that's one of the messed up parts about it, because who's going to lose? This lady may get a new truck. Those dinners I was talking about, shopping sprees and so forth, but that was that's taxpayer money and it's resources the city needed they ain't going to get because of it.
We asked majority of trustees about this third-party investigation. Oh, they said they had no knowledge of it. They also told us any third-party investigation would need the approval of the village board.
They didn't know nothing. Nobody know nothing. Y'all know NATO? Y'all know NATO? Don't nobody know NATO. They don't know nothing.
What do you say to that?
I say it's funny because if we're disgruntled former employees, one, Miles still works there, so I don't see how he can be disgruntled for anything. You knocked him down from where he was, but he's still working there. Me, I'm not disgruntled at all. Something happened to me and now I'm hurt. Just imagine if it didn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Like, I don't see how you could put that. So again, it's just a stupid move on her behalf, talking faster than her brain is thinking. Because if that's what you felt that was good, made sense to you, that I'm a former, and I want to run off with taxpayers' dollars. I was making the most money that I've ever made in my life working for her. I was making almost $138,000 a year. That was my salary. Like, I never seen that. Like, I never had money from my check left over and it didn't have to go to something. So why on earth would I ever mess that up? Like, I even was talking to Jen. I said, I kind of much rather probably would have been rather on her side and fighting you than this being my narrative. Like, that's how much of I'm disgruntled. I love working for you. Like,
that's a lot of damn money. She was getting $138,000 as her assistant. I might need to get a job in Dalton because $138,000. That's a lot of money, man. Like, that's a lot of money for that. I mean, that's pretty good now. It's pretty good.
I loved you as a person. Like, I actually still love her as a person. I don't know who she is now, but I still love her. I really do.
You still love her?
Yes, I really looked up to her. I'm hurt. I would never ever talk to her ever again. But the love is real, though. I really looked up to you since I was young. So to see you flip and you're not even not even a person that I met. You're a monster now because this is not even who you are. Like, you used to, man. She was really cool. She's actually a really cool person. So I don't know where you're wrong. I don't know if it's now she got a lot of money. So like, some people lose their mind when they get a lot of money and they start acting different. I don't know.
It's almost a year after the Vegas trip. In March 2024, Fania files a police report with South Holland PD that is then faxed to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. In it, she names Andrew Holmes as having assaulted her. And the police report is very detailed. Lots of names and information is redacted. It shows that Las Vegas detectives completed phone interviews with Fania and Officer Miles. It also details that no video footage from Planet Hollywood, the hotel where the group stayed, existed due to the time lapse. According to the report, the detective contacted an attorney who said he represented Henyard. And that attorney initially said the mayor was willing to provide statements. But days later, that attorney told the detective that the interview would need to be canceled. He advised the detective that Fania and Miles filed a civil lawsuit against the mayor, Thornton Township, and the village of Dalton. According to the police report, the detective notes that items of clothing were tested and an audio recording was submitted by the attorney representing Fania and Officer Miles. Additionally, over 50 photos and videos were submitted by Fania. Now, we submitted a request for evidence to Las Vegas police, which was declined. We also requested evidence from the attorney representing Fania and Officer Miles. We did not get a response. According to the report, the case was presented to the Clark County District Attorney's Office. It goes on to say, this case was denied by the DA's office. The detective told Officer Miles the next day that the case was denied due to insufficient evidence. When asked by Miles, what are we missing? The officer reports telling Miles they had gathered everything they had been told about. The report concludes that the case has been closed, but if new evidence is discovered, it will be reviewed again.
They just said there was lack of evidence, even in.
Dang. She should have got the rape kit. She should have got the rape kit, y'all. That kit would have done a lot for her. And I know I ain't even supposed to say that R word, huh? But she should have got that kit because that kit would have definitely helped her a lot. And it's a shame that, you know, she wasn't able to get that evidence because, again, if he did that, she said he should go to jail or go to hell. She deserves justice. It's just so difficult to see this story, man. You know what I mean? Because it's crazy, boy. All that stuff they got over there in Dalton, it's like, what? And they was making a lot of money, too. It was so much money. It was plentiful over there. And then look what be going on.
And when they did call me to say that it was lack of evidence, I was like, so how do you guys solve 20-year cold cases and all this stuff? She said, oh, yeah, we do that. We just we have lack of evidence for your case.
We reached out to attorney John Erickson, who, according to the police report, represents Andrew Holmes, but we did not get a response. Holmes has never publicly addressed these allegations, even in response to the civil lawsuit. And since filing that complaint, Fania has attended several village board meetings. At one meeting in November 2024, she addresses Andrew Holmes.
So tell me I'm lying, or tell them why.
Going to the meetings, I tried to go and confront him, but every time I went, after I can't have my statement out, he's not there.
But you did confront him recently.
Yes, and that was after trying to get to meetings, because then it was me to be meetings that I didn't make it to. Oh, now you're there. Now I can't make it to this meeting because I don't like bringing my kid to those types of things. Even the meeting that I actually did finally say something, my best friend took my son out right before I could say something, and that made me feel better that I can actually freely say what I need to say.
Why did you need to confront him?
Because he needs to tell everybody. He needs to tell me, tell the world that I'm not lying, because you got people think that I'm just out here making up stuff, that I want money, that I'm a disgruntled former employee. No, sir. Tell these people what you did. Or tell me in my face that I'm lying in front of these people, but something, you need to say something.
What she say? You need to say something. Say something. You better say it. Say it. The names must be named. What happened? What happened? Mr. Holmes. Tell her she lying. Now, see, I ain't know she confronted her in the meeting. That was new news to me. When she popped up in the meeting, the names must be named. What happened, Mr. Holmes? Say it. Say it to my face. That's what she said. And he should. But I mean, now, let's play that out. Let's think that through, right? What if she did that? How is that supposed to go? They're going to be in an open meeting debating about what happened in Vegas. That alone is so messed up. That's so bad. Oh, man. You know what I mean? That's so bad because it's like Holmes. Like a lot of people shocked, like, dog, this is what you do? Like, this is what you on? So he can't really say nothing and defend it. But at the same time, man, like, look at what this is doing to you. Look at what this is doing to her. Look at what this is doing to everybody. I don't understand. I don't understand. Hey, y'all, hit that like button for me, okay? Just push it, right? Let's all take a deep breath. And then let's push the like button. All right, y'all. Let's hear what else Fania got to say.
Tell us something. Tell the truth, though, because the truth's always going to come out, just like the light in the dark.
In December of 2024, more than a year and a half after the alleged incident, Fania and community activist Jedediah Brown went to Las Vegas hoping to meet with a detective. And while there, the
Jedediah be on it, don't he?
police took a second report in which Fania again named Andrew Holmes. It states that she came to file a report for unlawful dissemination of intimate images of her, which she was only made aware of after the news of her assault became public. The report does not reference any additional photos being provided to Las Vegas PD. We contacted the Clark County District Attorney's Office about any further developments, but we have yet to hear back.
So my second report is solely based off of what I know I do have evidence is, and that's him sending video and picture of my body without my consent. I'm hoping that, you know, it's not going to go to the sexual assault division. It's going to go to another division. So I'm hoping that we do get someone. And then when I was talking to the officer, he actually kind of made me feel like he was actually listening. So and it made a difference of, you know, sending a report from another police station all the way to Vegas and then actually coming and physically sitting in front of them and them actually hearing my story and seeing me and feeling me. So I'm actually kind of feeling good.
What is your message?
As hard as it possibly is, just say something. Because the worst thing that could be is if nobody believes you, but you said something. And our voice is mostly all we have. And you gotta stand up for you. And I know that that's hard. Because again, I literally just told you I was fighting denial. Because I could have just kept this to myself. And then, you know what? I know something happened to me. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep going out. You know, and I really could have messed me up, even though I already feel like I'm messed up right now. But you have to stand up for yourself. That is the biggest piece of advice that I can get to if anything happened to you, male or female, because it happens to both of them. Open your mouth, because how can anybody help you if we don't know? How you gonna?
She right. Males and females, stuff happens. You know, open your mouth, say something. Say something and follow through with the process. And I think it's unfortunate because you got a lot of people who put false allegations out there that looks crazy, and then it makes people with real allegations feel some kind of way, and it's made society just look at the whole situation kind of crazy, unfortunately, you know. But if something happens to you, people, please say something, man or woman. And it's shameful with men because, you know, men are supposed to be big and bad and tough. So a lot of times we don't like to speak when stuff happens to us, but men get assaulted too, just like women do. Now, granted, not nearly at the same level or severity, but it does happen, you know, so you got to say something.
Beat yourself up like I did, depressed, not wanting to get out the bed, wanting to take myself out of here. I almost did. I almost took myself right up on out of here. And the only thing that stopped me was my son. That was the only thing. Because I just couldn't imagine my baby having grown up without me. But I was close. Seriously close. Because I just couldn't imagine this is my narrative. I don't want to be known as that. I don't want people to see me out there and just the first thing they feel is they got to hug me because this is what they know. That's not what I want people to know. So this is hard. But no matter how hard it is, you got to stand up for yourself. And that's what I just keep telling people. And then even when I meet little girls, and I've even met one, and for her to only been only 11 now, so that's tough because you're 11 now. But when so it's just thinking like that, like how dare you? So just like that, and luckily she was able to say something too. She spoke up. She got her parents involved. So yes, you just have to involve. You got to keep people involved. And I'm learning that too. I'm learning to ask for help because that's the hardest thing for me to do. Because when I've asked for help before, I don't get it. I want people who's fighting to know it's going to be a lot. I didn't even know half of the stuff that I was going to go through. I never, just again, like I said, I would have never even expected to be in an NBC today. Never would imagine ever being in a news place ever in my life. But here I am because it's
she be seeming so sincere. She talks so fast though, like the stuff she be saying. It's like, it's kind of like, you know what I get from her? This is how it feels. It feels like your little sister telling you a story. You know, they just be all over the place, but you believe them because it's sincere, but they just talking over themselves and they just going. That's the vibe she gives me. Dang, man, it's really messed up that this went down like this. If it went down like this, allegedly, okay, we only listen to her side. Let me not get too invested in what's the truth and what's not.
It's serious in this. I mean it, and I want justice. I want truth. I want him to tell these people what you've done, and I don't want. I don't want a sorry. That's, of course, don't tell me sorry. That's cool. I already know what you did. But now I just need you to go and stand up, and you need to go through what you need to go through for what you've done to me. That was your decision, and I might not even get the truth. That's the hard part. That's the part that kills me. I might not get the truth, and that's the part that makes me feel like, and I don't want nobody to take this wrong, but that might make me crazy.
And you talk about help and trying to get answers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a community activist, Jedediah Brown, who went to jail.
Yeah.
You know, he went to jail. And he said that he's got your back.
Yeah, and I promise you, it's been so many people that tried to deter me from him or whatever. Nobody can. So I'm so appreciative of Jedediah Brown. Thank you. I'm elated for him. Like I couldn't have picked a better person. And I didn't even know him before the situation. Like I didn't really follow up on the other stories that he advocated for. So he kind of came, and I was kind of, standoffish with him at first because I didn't thinking this guy just coming out of nowhere. You just want to help. You don't even know me. But today, I'll fight for him if whatever you need. I'm there for you just because of how he is for me. So I'm wholeheartedly appreciative for him.
Finish this sentence for me. Phania Dukes is.
Oh man, I feel like out of everything you asked me, that just put me on the spot. Phania Dukes is determined. Phania Dukes, I now realize, is strong. I can't say that this has been a little bit of character building for me too, even though the circumstances are what it is, but I have seen myself really just take in some stuff that I just never thought I would be able to take in. I never thought I was just strong to do. I never thought that my mind could even fathom,
If there's any message you have for Tiffany Henyard to Andrew Holmes, what would it be?
So for Andrew, honestly, I feel like there's nothing else. It's not going to change. I just need you to tell the truth. That's all for Andrew. Like, I don't know what was going on in your mind. I don't know, if that's something that you just do. But at this point, you're out there now. You're called. Like, this is what it is. So like, you can save yourself time, or just come out and say what's happened. So that's that. But for Tiffany,
so I get it on some level, but what is he gonna come out and say? I did yada yada. Because if anything he say gonna make him look crazier anyway. So he's definitely not finna get out here and co-sign or at least bring credibility to what she's saying, whether he did it or not. And she don't want sorry. What I get from this is she want him to go to jail. Well, I'm not so sure that she really want him to go to jail because it's not criminal charges brought against him, it's civil. So it's money. So it's a bag. Because if she wanted him to go to jail, she would do criminal charges. Now, I'm not so sure if you can do civil then criminal or both of them concurrently. But if you want justice, like she says, she want him to go to jail or go to hell, you would do criminal. So that's something that we need to think about.
I do want her to know that, again, like I said, I loved you, G. And she know what I mean when I say talk like that. But I did. And I looked up to her. I really actually believed in her wholeheartedly. Like from what I was seeing and assisting her, even though she was tough on me, but it was she also gave me opportunities and I was able to go places where I never thought I would be able to go and meet the people that I'd be able to meet. And I was appreciative of that. And I just want her to know that you hurt me. You really hurt me. And it sucks that it has to go this way because I believed in you. And I even just believed in you as a mayor or a supervisor, but I believed in you as Tiffany, the person that I met and that I grew up with, you know. I wish it could have been different. I honestly wish she could have been different. She could have did so much great things that she just had a good heart. And I think that's the only thing that she's missing. And I don't know what she went through that just kind of kicked her over, but I'm praying for her every day. Every day. I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily want to ever be in that relationship with her ever again. But I'm praying for her. I do want people to know that have been supporting me. Thank you. Because again, you don't even know me, and for you to have that in your heart to help me tell my son that these people just gave my son every single thing that he asked for on his Christmas. And me as a child, I never got everything, you know. And I knew that this Christmas was going to probably be the first Christmas I wasn't going to be able to do nothing. Like when I tell you that was the hardest thing, because fighting rent and fighting my car note and all the different bills that they all came in, and it was like, I'm not gonna be able to do it to my baby. And for those beautiful people to make sure that my baby wasn't going to miss out on nothing, like that's what made me smile. Like that's why I said, out of everything I'm going through, that's the type of stuff that I can smile for. Like people are going to see me smile. Like a lot of people, well, she can't be hurt. She's smiling, she's laughing and stuff. She couldn't be hurt. Oh, he didn't take my smile. He didn't take my character. He didn't take Fania. He took a little piece of me, but he didn't take nothing more than that. So you're going to see me smile. Yeah, I'm hurting. I'm at home going through my mind trying to figure out what life is, looking for jobs and stuff like that. But I'm still gonna smile because God woke me up. He woke my baby up. You know, so I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Now, all right. So we do got to look at what she said. We got to call a spade a spade. She said that this Christmas she wasn't gonna be able to do anything for her baby. Fighting rent, fighting car note. That's real struggles, man. Everybody's feeling it right now, man. It's crazy out here. You know, a loaf of bread is damn near twice what it used to be. Have y'all seen them prices of eggs? I mean, all we gonna do is scramble them damn things, and they, it's crazy. But it makes you understand why her suit is civil and not criminal. Do I believe she was violated? I do, on some level. Do I believe she wants money? I do. Do I believe she wants justice after she gets her money? Do she deserve to get money? Yeah. I mean, she deserves to get something. But is money enough for when you're going through what she's going through? I can't say that. You know, I know people buy ass all the time, you know, but I mean, that's the thing too. He was in Vegas. You know, hookers is legal, bro. If you need to scratch an itch that bad, go buy something. You know, don't take it from this young lady. Hit that like button, y'all. Damn.
I'm blessed. those people blessed my baby. So thank you all.
Andrew Holmes remains a trustee in the Village of Dalton. He has not responded to our numerous requests for comment. Fania Dukes and Officer Byron Miles' civil lawsuit against the Village of Dalton, Thornton Township, Tiffany Henyard, and Andrew Holmes remains pending as of January 2025. Andrew Holmes has never publicly addressed these allegations, even in response to the civil lawsuit. The attorney for Fania Dukes and Officer Miles is seeking a default judgment against him, and they are also seeking a jury trial. the attorney did not respond to our request for an interview with him or Officer Miles. An attorney representing Tiffany Henyard sent us a statement that reads, Mrs. Henyard strongly denies all the allegations mentioned by Ms. Dukes. She did not put Ms. Dukes on unpaid medical leave or fire her because of any report of misconduct. Additionally, no conversation like the one described took place. Mrs. Henyard remains committed to maintaining a professional and respectful workplace, and she has always acted in accordance with applicable laws and regulations. Any allegations to the contrary are categorically false and will be addressed accordingly.
Man. Hey guys. What you think? What do we think about this? You know, it's like, I feel for the young lady because that's messed up. You know what I mean? She goes to Vegas. She's kicking it with Uncle Drew. That's what she called him, Uncle Drew. She hanging out with Uncle Drew. She said that she trusted him because she's rode in the car with him before and they've hung out. And he ain't never tried nothing. He ain't never made no pass. He ain't did nothing. But on this particular night, they went drinking. They went to go get some malt liquor. She said they went to get whatever they could, but then realized that the hard liquor was behind the bar. And then they found them some Hennessy. The dark liquor. And y'all know what Mama always said about that dark liquor. That damn dark liquor. So they got them some Hennessy. And then they went next door and doubled down, got them some daiquiris. So now we got malt liquor, Hennessy, and daiquiri. And then you know what they do? They go get some pre-rolls from the dispensary. So now they got a reefer. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you'd have had Hennessy, reefer, malt liquor, and daiquiris in the same night and remember what you did and it was all good stuff that you did. Just put a 1 in the chat. You ain't even got to say what you did. Don't nobody say what they did. Don't say what you did. Don't put that in the chat. But put a number 1 if you did something you don't remember, did something you don't want to remember. But that's what young folks do, right? They like to kick it. They like to turn up. Uncle Drew should have known better. Like, all right, you got this young girl, you know what I mean? And she turning up. I mean, come on. Now, maybe that was a part of the formula. Turn this young girl all the way up. Turn up with her. Pop some of them pills and do something he ain't supposed to do. And honestly, that could have been a fun night if she said yes, if she consented. If she's of legal age, which I believe her to be, and if she consented, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it may be distasteful, you know. No fraternization at the workplace is a thing. But it'll be legal. It'll be okay. It's 2 adults having fun, even though one of them is an older adult. But it's the non-consensual part that makes it such a damn fiasco. And I don't believe in victim blaming. I don't believe in victim shaming. I don't want to get caught up in all that bullshit. But what I do think is it could have been some fun that they was having if it would have been consensual. But she's saying it wasn't. So now he got to pay the piper. He's got to pay the piper. So she takes it to her boss. She takes it to Mayor Tiffany Henyard, she said, and said, I want to tell you what happened. And the first thing Tiffany said, it wasn't, oh, girl, what? For real? His old ass. No, he didn't. That's what you expect. That's their homegirl stuff. I got 3 sisters. That's how they do. No, he didn't, girl. For real? His old ass. That ain't right. We finna go, they rally together. That ain't what they did. That ain't what Tiffany did. Tiffany said, you know, this gonna ruin me, right? And then I felt old girl when she said it. She said, you really hurt me, G. I felt her. Because that was the commonality that they had, the relationship they had, the friendship that they had, the thing that they had. I mean, she was her assistant. You know, who knows you better than your assistant or your secretary? They know your habits. They deal with you regularly. And she couldn't get so much as a hug, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to look into it. What she says, you know this is going to ruin me, right? Listen, I got a lawyer you can call. Here's the number. Write it down on the post-it. Call my lawyer. They're going to get it together. Because Tiffany wanted to control the narrative. Allegedly. So she does it. And the young lady thinking, all right, well, I done went to my boss. I'm showing loyalty. And Tiffany said, hey, we're going to have a meeting about this. Let's get into it. Who was there? Officer Miles was there? Bring your ass on in there, Miles. We're going to get everybody in here and figure out what you eat. But let me call my boo. Let me get Kamal in here. So Kamal come in there and say, what you want? You're going to get paid. You know you're going to get paid, right? No, girl, like, what? Well, wait a minute now. I done gave up the ass. I didn't want to, but I did. I don't want to get paid because I told him, no, I didn't consent to this. I want him to go to jail or I want him to go to hell. One of the two. I don't need a shopping spree right now. I'll take a shopping spree, but I don't need that right now. But she being young, inexperienced, not understanding, conflicted, elected official, all this extra stuff going on, right? She ain't know what to think. So what does she do? What does she do? She takes the piece of paper and write down a damn Christmas list. That's what she did. She wrote that Christmas list down. She wanted some help with some rent, some car notes, some groceries. She took the bait. And what Kamal do? He folded the piece of paper up and put it in his pocket. In the back of his mind, thinking, I got it. We just paid for it. And now the young lady feeling even worse. Because think about what she said. She said she thought about taking herself on out of here. Why? Guilt wrapped up in delusion of what the situation really is, and not on a negative. When I say delusion in what she's wrapping up in the situation, blah, 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 blah. When I say delusion wrapped up in the situation that she's in, what I mean is she's still young and hasn't gotten to a place where she can understand how to navigate these kind of waters. You got the government involved, you got money involved, you got the media involved, you got old friends involved, her worker her boss that she looked up to involved. She used to dance with her. She said Tiffany had a dance group back in the day. That's how she recruited this lady. So what'd she do then? She took it deep down in her heart. And so her being conflicted about how to handle all of that, and then when you mix that on top of the government stuff, the elected official stuff, and what people believe her. And that's something that victims have to deal with that sucks. How would her son look at her? Because on some level, she just wanted to turn up in Vegas. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. She just wanted to kick it, do a little something. But I don't think she thought it was going to be all that. And it shouldn't have been unless she wanted it to be all that. Real talk. And that'll lead to depression. It will make you want to do some stuff to yourself. So when she said she thought about taking herself on out of here, I believe it. But now what is she left with? She left with a decision. So do she go criminal? Well, it's going to be hard to go criminal without a kid. She should have got a kid. She didn't do it, though. It's a he say, she say. Except for he pulled a creep move, allegedly. He got on FaceTime, pulled the covers back. So let me wait. I jumped. So I stopped at the liquor and the reefer, right? Let's go back to liquor and the reefer. So they got liquor and reefer. That's how the night going. And she said they were out walking on the strip. They get to the area where the hotels are, and she said it looked like something like New York or something like that. Near the water fountains is what she said. And then she woke up in his hotel room. My Lord. My Lord. So the next thing she remembers waking up, and he was on top of her waking her up. But her drawers was on. And that's still getting me. You know, I'm not just being managed to be managed, y'all. I'm not a nasty guy like that. But the thing is, you would think her clothes would be ripped if it was in a forced thing, or something would be missing if they did something. I mean, did the guy assault her, like take her clothes off or assault her and then put her clothes back on? That part is weird to me. That's something that I'm not really getting jiggy with. But then he called the police, which Officer Miles, who came with him, and go on FaceTime and then show Officer Miles some stuff under the covers, and he pulling stuff back and showing, but her clothes was on. That's weird. It's weird. I don't understand. What you showing if her clothes is on? And why you showing it to the cop? Like, was y'all cool like that? What you trying to prove? So she gets up. She feeling some kind of way. They got to get to their flight. And Officer Miles asks, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "What you mean?" Because she already wondering, this really happened? Am I tripping? Somebody tripping? Should I go to the hospital? What do I do? But it's a business trip. So, like, put yourself in her shoes. You go on a corporate trip with your job. Somebody do something to you. And everybody came together and leaving together. Like, how does that come up? Like, I mean, it's a crime, so it should just come up as foul. But what you gonna say? What do you say? You say, "He touched me last night, y'all," and I said no. We was drinking malt liquor, and we was drinking Hennessy and smoking reefer, and we had daiquiris, and I woke up in his bed with my clothes on. What? Now, if you in charge and that story is given to you, you know what you're gonna say? You know this gonna ruin me, right? That's why Tiffany said that. But you gotta remember, this was a young mind. So they get on the flight to get back to Dalton. And the girl is conflicted. She's trying to figure it all out, is what she said. She just didn't understand. Maybe she read it wrong. Maybe she did drink too much. I mean, her drawers was on. Like, I don't know if I did nothing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know what was in that weed. And I don't really drink malt liquor. And we was having shots. We was doing shots. Because, you know, young folks like to do shots. Everybody like to do shots when they're on vacation. Just let's face it. They like to do shots. So they doing shots. Reefer, daiquiris, malt liquor. Old man, young girl. That's a recipe for a disaster. So she's trying to figure out if she read it wrong, because she knows if she brings the wrong attention, or the right attention if it's justified, but the wrong attention to the situation, it can really, really blow up into something, as it did. And did. But she didn't get a kid. So there's a big lack of evidence there, because how can you say who did what without that kid, without some kind of DNA reference, some kind of evidence, because the names got to be named. But she didn't go get it because she felt some kind of way. And that's understandable, because from what I've seen and been told, victims take a long time to come forward. You know, and there's a lot of guilt that comes with that, because this is still a human person. All right. I may say it humorous, I'm silly, you know, we joke around, but we are dealing with a serious matter. And so victims don't always just jump out there to say, that happened to me, because it makes you feel weak, vulnerable. Who wants to show their weak and vulnerable side? So she didn't know what to do. She was conflicted. But you know what she did do? She showed loyalty. So she went to her boss. She went into Tiffany's office, knocks on the door. Look around there. Can I holler at you for a minute, G? Because that's what she said. She called her G. She said, y'all know what I mean by that. Okay. I got family from Chicago and all that. It's a G thing up there. That's not what this stream is about, but it's a G thing. Those who know, know. And she said, I gotta holler at you a minute, Tiff, you know. Oh boy. Oh, light-skinned dude, Uncle Drew. We had a couple beers. Girl, you drink beer? What you doing drinking beer? Well, see, no, that's all they had at first. And then we got the Hennessy. Yeah, the Hennessy. Well, wait. Fania, you drinking beer and Hennessy? Don't tell me that. I don't even know about that. We had a couple daiquiris too. Why are you telling me this, Fania? You smelling like weed. You had some weed. I had some weed too. We had some pre-rolls. So what you saying, Fania? You had some malt liquor, Hennessy, daiquiris, and pre-rolls, smoking reefer with this old man by the fountain. Okay, what happened, girl? I gotta work. Okay, you're on the clock now. I don't remember what happened. I woke up in his bed. What? Yeah, and I just thought I'd bring it to you first, G. And what did Tiffany say? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What Tiffany say? You know this is gonna ruin me, right? What? I'm your assistant. You pay me $138,000 a year, Tiffany. I needed a hug. I needed you to say, really, girl? I'm so sorry that happened to you. Show some compassion. Show that you give a damn. You might not give a fuck, but show that you give a damn. But she didn't do that. And it hurt the young lady's feelings. And like she said, you hurt me, G. Because, I mean, that's her assistant, right? So you would think that this assistant who's been with you since she was a kid can confide in you, show loyalty, and you didn't even do nothing but think about your career first. And that's what got her. So now she's already mixed up in her head about how she should handle it, rightfully so. This is a traumatic experience. And then her boss gonna say, you know this is gonna ruin me. But let's have a meeting. Well, we're gonna have a meeting, girl. Let's figure it out. Get Kamal on in here, and he gonna do a Christmas list, and then you're gonna get paid. You'll get a new truck. Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, what you want. Just keep your mouth shut. It's not right. It's not right. You know, so before I bring this to a close, y'all, you know, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I'm a little overwhelmed by how this whole thing went down because I've been following the story, and I hate the fact that I stopped for a minute. Like I said, I had to take a little hiatus, a little break, and now that I can get back into it, this is what we get back into it with. This is where we are. My first day back, I got her assistant, Tiffany Henry's assistant, giving an interview. Shout out to NBC Chicago, talking about what happened. And this young lady has been fighting too, because I believe it was at one of the town hall meetings. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where I believe it was her. Who came in there and said that, you know, something that happened to her daughter. So it's really it's really messed up. It's really messed up because it became a family affair. And see, that's the thing with the local government stuff, right? You got a lot of people who are in the room that you can see, you know, in local government, it's different than state government. It's different than federal government because, you know, you may be somebody's next door neighbor. You know, your cousin know somebody. Like she called him Uncle Drew. You know what I mean? His cousin, uncle, friend, or something could have been a teacher at the school or something. So it's not like you get to just disappear and act like stuff don't matter with these people. Because it do. It really, really do. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like when you think it can't get worse with this Tiffany saga, it does. When you think it's gotten stupid enough, it gets stupider. When you think all of the characters are going, because let's run the characters now. We got Tiffany, Friedman, Carlisle, Gonzalez. Like, it's like, hey, Dalton could have a fire ass soap opera, like if Tyler Perry get a hold of Dalton, yeah, it'll go down. It'll go all the way down. But I hate that. But in all seriousness, too, what saddens me, what breaks my heart, is when you see a black leader such as Tiffany Henyard, who had the capacity to do so much good stuff, but let it all go to hell like this. You know, that really, really sucks. Because we need more leaders like that. You know, she always touts that she's young, and some people give her mixed, you know, they like to mess with her. You ain't that young. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's young, you know, comparatively. But the fact is, look at what she did with it. They were over there making real money. Her damn assistant was making $138,000. Come on, y'all. Come on now. $138,000 assistant. That's what they was doing. You know. But they keep this up. It's gonna have to do a show. Surviving Dalton. I just really, really hate I really hate what happens to the victims, though, you know. And so let me get a little bit more serious with you guys. Let me get a little bit in the weeds with this. I have one of my close friends, one of my really, really close friends. She's like a little sister to me. We're about a year apart. She's a year younger. She was assaulted in a manner very similar to this. And she didn't want to come forward either until late in the game, right? And it did something to her psychologically that wasn't quite right. Because, you know, I can't pretend to act like I understand what women deal with that. But what I can say is messed up. So let me cap that off by saying I don't believe in victim shaming. Everybody got a right to be heard. And you got to speak up when somebody violates you. You got to. So what y'all think gonna happen next in this Tiffany Henyard saga? Is it over? Do you think the money's gonna get made off of this for Nia? Do you think she's gonna get a bag off of this? What you think? Put it in the chat. I think that I think she is gonna get a little bag. Now, how much? I don't know. But I think she's gonna get a little something. And I think that Andrew Holmes, if he really did something wrong, he should be put under the jail. But if he didn't, it's messed up because his name is tainted now. You know. So it's always really, really tricky in situations like this. You know, I just don't understand what the hell is going on in Dalton. At least in Thornton Township, they made a decision to stop the leakage, stop the hemorrhaging. What y'all think Dalton gonna do? What's the answer? Well, I don't know what the answer is, you guys, but do me a favor and hit that like button. Comment. Let's keep the narrative going. Hit that subscribe button for your boy, you know. And you know, this Tiffany Henyard thing is starting to wind down. You know, it's making me wonder what else is next. So I'm gonna expand my content, and I'm gonna start to tie in a lot of political stuff into pop culture stuff, because my goal with this channel is to get people to realize how important local politics is. You know, as a former elected official myself, as someone who has been in the ring, you know, I understand how it goes. You know, I still deal with these people all the time. Police officers, mayors, state representatives, state senators, and all that. So I really get to see it. I understand this stuff on a different, more intimate level because I've seen it. I've seen the other sides of suits, like the one that she's got. I know what it looks like to look at a harassment suit or some kind of assault suit that the city has to deal with. And it's business, it's protocol to that, because it's not the city's money that has to be paid out. It's your money, it's taxpayers' dollars. So my goal with this channel is just get people to see the connection, because everybody think the president got something to do with it. The president ain't got nothing to do with none of this stuff. This is where local government matters, and your voice can be heard. Your voice should be heard. But if you don't know how it applies, what it applies to, what context, it's really, really difficult for you to give a damn. And I understand that. So what I'm going to do on this channel is I'm going to still tap into the Tiffany Henyard drama, the debauchery, all that. But we're going to start talking about some of the Diddy stuff and the Jay-Z stuff and all that other stuff too. But I'm going to tie in legislation to help you understand how it all matters, why you should give a damn, how you can affect change. So ride with me on this journey. So until next time, be unlikely, stay unstoppable. Wait a minute, I did it backwards. It's stay unlikely, be unstoppable. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one, y'all.